Yo, what is going on, everybody? This your boy Sean, aka Puff Comics, and I'm joined with my main man, Varangian Vigilante, and we will discuss some Jean-Claude Van Damme goodness today as we talk double impact, double the Van Dammes in one movie. How are you doing?
Yeah, well, and I hope everybody's well stretched, since stretching is very important.
It's very important. When you said that, I was like, let me get a gift for that. And that's the Rodney Dangerfield was perfect.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not the best Van Damme movie, but it's still an entertaining movie. Like I said to you in the pre-show, it's the most entertaining, worst-paced movie.
and to me, it's better than most movies that has a slow pace and just poor story and stuff. It does a whole entertainment value. This movie at least keeps your attention span, even if the pacing is a bit off.
Exactly. Like I think it's very loosely based on the Corsica Brothers story by Alexander Dumas, but at the end of the day, it's just a vanity thing for Jean-Claude Van Damme. He wanted to have himself twice in there.
And twice he had. And before we go on, I just want to give a special shout out to John's Comics for Kids. I'm rocking his shirt. It was awesome meeting him and Old Wolf and others at Megacon last week. Unfortunately, we still missed out on a bunch of other members that was at the con because that con is fucking huge. It's hard. And when the internet is wonky, it's hard to communicate via internet. But it was a great time hanging out with those guys, and definitely check out my Megacon video, which I uploaded last night. It's on the channel.
Really great video. Everybody watch it.
Yes.
Yeah, and John redeemed himself in the meanwhile for his action movie video. So yeah, John is awesome.
And he got a wonderful gift from Stone Cold Steve. So
yep.
Great stuff.
It's like, I've never seen anybody so happy to get a purple label.
He's a fucking animal. hey, purple label or not, man, it's still an awesome gesture from Stone Cold Steve. Man.
Exactly. It's hello, hey Kenneth.
What's up, Kenneth?
And also, coming back to Double Impact, there's also a Vampirella reference in it.
Ooh, I must that.
And in the beginning, one of the students is the late Julie Strain, one of the first Vampirella cosplayers. Yeah,
I didn't notice that.
And cover girls. Yeah, I know Julie Strain when I see her.
I need to see her in costume to say, "Hey, Vampirella."
Yeah, it's like I'm pretty also sure. Like when we watched it, like Jeff's penis went up like the Vampirella radar, and he sensed it like.
Oh man. But yeah, Double Impact. The movie actually starts off, with the parents of the main characters. They're doing this business deal with Hong Kong, and Griffin, one of the business partners, ends up turning on his partner after he done got what he wanted with the tunnel.
And that was like, I absolutely loved the shootout and everything, but I was really wondering, how did he get that through the rating to get an R rating?
It was pretty brutal with that shootout.
Especially the shotgun, Bolo Yeung doing the shotgun shot on the mother, like
he was cold as fuck. Like he had no chill. He like, I don't give a damn if you crying about your baby. Take this bullet to the head.
And I'm pretty sure he would have done the same to the babies if they didn't manage to get them away. However, they had to run different directions. So
this is one thing you never do is send your personal bodyguard away.
Yeah.
Until you get home. Like they should have said, Frank, come with us home. Make sure everything's okay. Then you're dismissed.
Yeah, and Frank was a fantastic bodyguard. Also, really fantastically portrayed by the late Geoffrey Lewis. So it's like you really like this character, and you can. I mean, if you have a bodyguard, you want to have a bodyguard like that that goes beyond to even avenge you.
Exactly. And he came there in a hurry when he realized that the hit was on.
Yeah.
And
he almost made it in time.
It's funny, one man come there and changed the whole tide. They took out the parents and about ready to take out the maid with the babies, but Frank showed up and changed the tide, was able to save one of the kids who was left behind in the car because the maid ran out with the other one. Exactly, so he was able to take that kid to France and raise him there while the other one was orphanage.
Yeah, so, the other one got the shaft in an orphanage in Hong Kong.
Yeah, he got it rough, but it toughened him up, and that's why we have Alex.
Yeah.
A pretty much a scumbag character in there. Have no chill. He's so obsessed with his girlfriend in this film, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But when we first see Chad, which is the one that was raised by Frank, he's a martial arts instructor, and he's more like carefree and outgoing and dresses kind of I wouldn't say casually, but his wardrobe is kind of...
It was the early 90s. And it's France. I mean, it's like...
I'm shocked that we ain't seen so many splits in this film.
Yeah, for France, this doesn't even look gay.
And yes, they were based in LA before they went to Hong Kong. Yeah. He was raised in France, but based in LA.
Yeah.
And that's how they could get away with the whole, he speaks that with that accent, because he was in France. But Frank get the notion that say, hey, we got some business in Hong Kong. And right there, you already know what Frank is planning to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I have to say that for the movie, what I really like is that they didn't waste too much time to get the twin brothers together.
Well, they do waste time, but at the same time, they don't really like each other when they first meet.
Yeah.
Like Alex already see Chad as a in his mind a queer looking dude, like, and he already putting moves on his girlfriend, and he's like, fuck away from this guy, like, that's your twin brother, like he's nothing like me.
It's a big difference, that Chad is wearing silk underoos, and Alex
she was feeling it too. She was feeling it.
It's like a surprise, and he said, yeah, you got a big surprise. Yeah.
At least he wasn't wearing cotton, because Dolomite would have been like, the fuck you bring this cotton drawers?
I have to say that, like, this triangle relationship between Twin Brothers and Danielle is
weird.
It's weird. Yeah, it's very strange, and in many situations, I think it slows down the movie.
It does. It really do. Like, you want things to start picking up, but then you have this little triangle romance thing, which is really nothing serious, but Alex is the one that's really like angry about it because he sees his brother, even if he's calling him all these names, it's like he's moving in on my girl, and I don't like that just because we look alike. That's my girl. And it's like, come on, bro. You're taking it way too serious, and it really like kind of slows the movie down to the point where it's like, can we just focus on the revenge plot? And I want to see some more of the villains, because let's be honest, the two main baddies were good, but their henchman was like, I needed some more henchmen.
Yeah, especially like Corey Everson playing Kara, who is the bodyguard of Alan Scarf's character Nigel, the one who betrayed the parents of Chad. Yeah, Nigel Griffith betrayed the parents, and she's a former bodybuilder, like really female bodybuilder, and she's so fucking hot.
Especially when they infiltrate the business, and she come in there with those short shorts and looking menacing. I was like,
yeah,
damn, man, she could take my life.
Yeah, like I could suffocate between those fights.
But yeah, she was amazing, and then they had to do with the spurs on his boots.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's Peter Malotta. He's like in a lot of movies. He's especially a stuntman. He also was in The Quest, and he also did some other Van Damme movies. That's the thing, Van Damme always likes to bring back the people he worked with, where he has some trust with the martial arts, and he also has some really nice kicks. It's with the fight. I think it was between him and Alex.
Yeah,
I think Alex. Suddenly the movie went artsy, with this dark and these blue shades and everything. So it's like, it was really cool, really cool fight scene. But it was really like, it's like they try to become an art movie now.
But he should have stayed in the shadows, because I liked him disappearing in the shadows, catching him off guard. Soon as he start engaging in combat, that's where he lost it, because now he's in visible sight, and then once the light exposed him, he was done. But I do like that artsy feel to it, because it made it more like, give it more this surreal fight, where this hidden figure is attacking him.
Yeah, all these scenes, they feel really like a boss fight. On a stage, every boss has like his or her stage, and then they have the fight going on. Yeah, fantastic henchman. Of course, the main henchman, Bolo Yeung, and with his one like blind eye, and the big scar he gets from the bullet in the beginning, when he and Frank had a really fantastic shootout. Yeah,
he was menacing as fuck. Especially after he took that bullet to the face and then he came up on the glass. I was like, yeah, he's the most scariest villain of all.
Yeah, and like in the first time when he fought Chad, and Chad fought, he can take all of them on. And there's Jeff. We talked about Julie Strain, and of course, Jeff magically appears. I already said it's like, when we talk about Julie Strain, I'm pretty sure that Jeff, like your penis vampirella radar, like goes straight up, and you sense there's some vampirella action going on.
Happy birthday!
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Jeff. Yeah.
So,
I have some books for you here. I have to get to the posts.
Nice. But yeah, the henchman in this movie is amazing, and once again, it just shows that when you have great henchmen in movies, it elevates the movie from just you're having a normal villain, but with great underbosses. Yeah,
and absolutely love this is the fight between Chad and Bolo Yeung's character in the beginning, where K-pop, when Chad does like the high kick and Bolo just gets him in the silk underoos.
And that's the thing with Chad. He loved to throw those high kicks so many times. I mean, that's a Jean-Claude staple. Those roundhouse high kicks. But man, when you fight an experienced fighter that knows how to counter it, like Alex did, and Bolo Yeung, it's like.
But this, like in this scene, I really would expect it to go, the slow motion street fight, like
Johnny Cage style. Yeah, man, Bolo Yeung was a badass in this film. Everybody was great. Like you said, it's well casted. The only one that I really didn't care for, of course, is the girlfriend, because she was just there as the tension between Alex and Chad. But everybody else was great.
Yeah, she only was there so the two twin brothers didn't have to fuck themselves.
they should have just teamed up and just said, "Fuck it, man, threesome time," But yeah, I really love the action sequences in this film. While the movie is paced poorly, when it does pick up, we do get some great action set pieces, like when Alex and Chad infiltrate the warehouse scene.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
I love how Alex is in straight infiltration mode, planting bombs and stuff. But Chad, he wants to do something, but he ends up costing everything by creating a roundhouse kick that creates a whole lot of noise, and now everybody's on it.
Yeah, it's also funny, also something we talked about, in the pre-show is it's interesting, especially how Chad accustoms so fast to murdering people left and right.
It's like they didn't even give him a story arc where he's like, I'm not no killer and stuff like that. Like I don't kill with guns and stuff like that. Nah, he was easily picking up guns and shooting. I'm like, bro, who trained you how to use a gun?
Probably that's why they had to move from France to the US, because he left already so many bodies there.
I could have seen if he was like just a fighter of the two. Like he'll use his fighting skills to get out of situations, and Alex be the one to use guns. But nah, fucking Chad picking up guns and shooting them. I'm like, that's not even your specialty. You're not even killing people.
There's almost really this point in the movie where they suddenly, fuck it, I'm Jean-Claude Van Damme.
But hey, man, it's the love affair he has with himself to have two characters.
Yeah, like I said, it's basically there's no reason that there are twin brothers in this movie. It's just vanity. It's just Jean-Claude Van Damme wanting to show off two sides of himself, so he could show some range. But this movie could have just been, one of these characters teaming up with Frank and getting revenge, because there's a really good chemistry between Jean-Claude Van Damme and Geoffrey Lewis.
Would you rather him team up with himself or team up with Dennis Rodman?
Dennis Rodman. I love the movie. I love the movie. You have this fantastic Colosseum scene. Yeah, it's
that NWO for life, baby.
Exactly. Dennis Rodman is not a former NWO member.
He's for life,
NWO for life.
Yep. But yeah, the film does have great action set pieces, and for more or less, it does keep an entertaining vision throughout the film, mainly because of the cast.
Yeah,
and like you said, like it doesn't really need the twin aspect, but it's still unique in a way that he was able to pull it off. And you could tell, like, certain scenes, like this green screen, when they're together, like when they're riding off on the truck, that's straight green screen, and you can just see it.
And other scenes where I'm like, this must have been extra complicated with the fight choreography.
Yeah, like you be looking hard to see the stuntman.
Yeah.
During the fight scenes between the two characters.
I also hope that the makeup team got double paid.
Yeah.
For the movie.
But I do like one of my favorite scenes is the infiltration of the store, the business, and how they were chasing them around with the helicopter, and how they found their warehouse where they were staying at in the hotel. But I just love that scene because, of course, Carl was there, in lead form, kicking ass, and how they were willing to just chase him throughout the whole city to find where they was at.
Yeah, it's like there's really some fantastic chasing scenes, and it starts right, like they have the little chasing scene. There's also established a little bit both brothers and how fast they are on the foot. When the police was hunting them.
And when you really think of how they come together to try and take out the villains, you really kind of side with Alex in terms of I don't really need to do this. I'm living life as is.
Yeah.
There's really no necessary need for us to go after these villains because of what they did to parents that we don't know.
Exactly. There was no emotional connection. Of course, when you witness your parents, getting murdered, and you live your whole life with that rage is one thing. But when you just find out that this happened 20 years ago, then it's hard to suddenly you live a normal life, and then it's you want me to get revenge for people that I have never known?
And that's why I said in pre-show, this is more Frank's revenge than it is Chad and Alex, because this is his way of saying, I need these boys to take out these guys that betrayed me and the man that I was bodyguard.
Because he always mentioned, it's about your family legacy. But of course, they never had an idea that they have a legacy.
Chad looks up to Frank. He called him Uncle Frank.
Yeah.
And Alex was raised in the streets of Hong Kong, so he has his own mentality ways. So when you really think about it, it's like, man, I'm not interested in doing this because now you're digging into the criminal underworld, and there ain't no way you might survive that.
Yeah, especially since he knows who they are going up against.
Exactly. And ain't it a convenient that Alex's girlfriend works for Griffin? Like such plot convenience. Like, yeah, you have a girlfriend. You living doing underhanded tactics on the street, selling Mercedes to people and stuff like that. But yet your girlfriend worked for one of the biggest bosses in Hong Kong. Like, come on.
Gave us one of the best frisking scenes in movie history, though.
Hey, she should have just fell for it, man.
Yeah, Corey Everson can frisk me every time.
But yeah, that was like plot convenience. Like, yeah, she's tied to the boss, the villain that, and Alex was really pushing her to keep looking for information when she really don't want to do that.
And she plays everything so well, and then she calls him by the company telephone.
Like, that made no sense. And then why you keep getting caught? Like, after the first time of you getting caught by Kara looking at documents, you got to be like sneaky, like or do something to avoid that second confrontation.
Exactly, especially when you witness for like a secretary, she's very well built.
Exactly. It's like, I'm not trying to put myself in this type of situation again. You better have a photographic memory of scanning things with your eyes real quick and getting the hell out of it. Because she's sitting in there reading documents like it's a library or something. Like, girl, you taking too damn long, bro. You got to get information and go. And like you said, she gonna call on company phone where they could tap your ass. Like, really? Like, she was the very definition of plot point. This is what we're doing, and she's gonna be the focus of it, and then this is gonna lead to everything. It led to what's his name, Alex's drunken tired because she's with Chad, and he's thinking, he's having sex with her. We get the most overblown love scene in the history of love scenes. Like,
it's like, this and the erotic fantasy from the Human Tornado.
At least Human Tornado had a point. He was getting information from that bitch.
Yeah.
This was just it damn near borderline on erotic porn and somebody else being so jealous that he's not the one getting the action. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, like also in the pre-show, the only thing missing was really like the twins fucking like
and him being in the drunken tirade wanting to fight.
Yeah, it's like shipping went down with himself.
It's like just have a threesome and get it over with. Just like, you're twins, man. She got the heart for both of you. Just give it to her and get it over with. Then go back to killing bad guys.
I wonder what scenes went to the editing floor.
Well, shit. I can imagine. I can imagine the full scene of them two getting it on, and I'm like,
there's like, there's two things that I am not going into. This is 4chan and this is fanfiction.
Fanfiction could be hit or miss. There's some good fanfiction, then there's some fanfiction like, y'all really fans or what? But yeah, Van Damme stuff is like, I love Van Damme, but there's certain things in me that are like, yeah, that shit didn't age well at all. Missing out on the good stuff. But yeah, Alex was he was deep into his emotions with his girlfriend, and like I said, it really do slow the movie down whenever he gets into this tense argument with his brother.
And it also basically just set up so we get a Van Damme versus Van Damme fight scene.
Exactly, and it was cool, but it didn't amount to anything. All it did was let the villains get in there and take Frank and the girl while they're left, standing there like, now we gotta team up, even if we don't like each other.
Because it's one of these tropes where most of the audience already knows, okay, this is gonna be a resolution afterwards, so let's get it over with. We all know this is just there to win a little bit time.
Yeah, and like I said, it was fine, but it does pad the movie out where that stuff could have been like cut out completely and just something else could have happened to lead to that ended. Like, I would have rather just Frank get captured, since he's the main person that wanted this revenge.
Yeah.
So he's the one that get captured, and she gets like pushed to the side, and they go after them to save Frank, because he's the one that links both of them together.
Exactly. They could have done it, that, hey, you two brothers, you know each other. Let's learn from each other, etc. I'm gonna scout out the perimeter, and then he gets captured. Like, there would have been easy solutions for that.
Now, I liked the fake out what they did with Frank. When they were torturing him, it was pretty funny because Frank was warning them, don't fall for their tricks. And then when Bolo Yeung shot the gun, you thinking, oh, they killed Frank. Yeah, I'm gonna get my revenge. And then Frank is still alive. Like, they fell for it and they come across. But yeah, it was a good fake out, but it didn't work because they end up losing anyway.
Yeah, but those fight scenes so great with not only with the henchmen, but also like the boss fight scene, because you see that the bosses should not be really like a fighting match for Alex and for Chad. So it's really good that they use all the trickery and toolery they have, and the effects are really great, especially when. I think when Alex for the saying, and like when his arm went through the corpse, like that was shredding.
It's like certain scenes you can see it coming, and it's still chilling when you see it.
Yeah, that was really well done, because they didn't. They fully held on it with the camera, so you really saw like going.
But before that, they showed Alex, his shoulder got caught.
Yeah, his shoulder. Yeah, they established already like the thing what is followed. It's like, and then, yep, we're gonna see something going through it.
But I liked that showdown between the two. It showed that while Zane was running away, and you question why the fuck did he go to the highest point on the top, just to have a fight on the top and then get thrown off. But it showed that he was a competent fighter. Pulling out the little sword and getting some on Alex. So he wasn't like just a wimpy villain. Like, he has some skills.
Yeah. But of course he was a little bit past his prime.
Griffin, on the other hand, he got exactly what he deserved.
Oh yeah, that was
that was like one of the glorious death scenes in the movie, because he thinking he can push them off with the fucking canister full with the forklift, and then he's gonna get out, go underneath the shit, and shoot at the water. Like,
I was like, dude, what? You're wasting your bullets.
Exactly. It's exactly. He wasted all his bullets, and when Chad was in the forklift ready to drop the canister on him, he out of bullets. So I'm like, yep, you fucked, bro. And then he just got squashed completely. Yeah, that death scene was old. That get replayed a lot for me.
What would have been interesting, but didn't do, is probably the legal aftermath when they're gonna take back like their family legacy. So and and basically have to show that every death was a necessary death and was in self-defense.
And then the second fight scene between Bolo, Yeung, and Alex, I thought could have been extended a little bit more.
Yes, that was a little bit short, but what they really managed well is to establish like the weight of the barrel, because mostly
when he held the barrel up,
yeah.
and then Alex got behind him, and he just dropped the barrel just like that.
Yeah,
I was like, that just showed how badass he was. Like, no matter what, he's gonna let that barrel fly.
So either that was a heavy barrel, Bolo Yeung is just that hardcore, which is a possibility, or it was a prop, and he really did well to portray that this has more weight than it actually has.
I want to say it's both. It's a prop, but with weight,
Just
to show off Bolo's strength, because that dude was massive.
Yeah, he just brought the barrel from home to work.
But yeah, that fight scene was good but underwhelming, even though he went out in an electrifying way.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say underwhelming only in the way because you want to see more.
It was that felt underwhelming for me because I wanted to see more of that their fight, especially after Bloodsport, which was just fantastic.
Yeah.
Here, I felt like they kind of used the props a bit much, and by the time what's his name started getting his kicks in, it's over. He's electrocuted and it's done. And I'm like, God, I want to see a bit more struggle.
I think the character was called Moon, Bolo Yeung's character.
I call him Bolo Yeung.
Yeah, but it's just Bolo.
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed the fight for what it was, and again, it showed off Bolo's spectacular strength and menacing look.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Bolo is just a gift to us all.
And that's why his son needs to be in films, being a henchman, because
he's a clone, basically.
Like, he got the same genetics, the look. Like, dude could be a master henchman in every film and just make it look easy.
And this is something that modern cinema really needs to get back on. That you need more recognizable henchmen. I think Grillo is a good henchman, but there's not a lot of henchman actors anymore out there that are recognizable.
I mean, Batista played a few henchmen. He was a Bond henchman. He was in the Man with the Iron Fist.
Yeah, of course. In Dune, he's a fantastic. Yeah, Batista's also one of these. Yeah. And this is something where...
And I like the Batista in the Riddick movie, the third Riddick movie.
I have not seen the third Riddick movie yet.
It's okay, but I thought he played his part really well.
Yeah, my problem was with the first two Riddick movies is that there are no stakes because he's just playing through level easy.
It's the same with the third.
You're
going to see the same in the third. There's really no stakes.
Yeah, because there was not one scene. I watched the second Riddick movie in the cinema, I wasn't there, and it's like, you're never afraid for the character. There's no struggle.
Man, the second movie killed me when Keith David's character died. I was like, why do you do Keith David like that?
Yeah. For me, I think the movie was basically okay. Now it's over. I mean, it was entertaining movie, but when he killed the guy with the mug.
Oh yeah.
But it's also one of the first movies after Lord of the Rings with Carl Urban.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, I know you don't like the movie, and it's a guilty pleasure for me, but fucking Doom with The Rock and Carl Urban. It's a guilty pleasure because of how The Rock does the job at the end. I'm like,
yeah. but it's still.
It's not the video game.
It's exactly, and the thing is that every time I'm revisiting it, it's like, okay, it can't be that bad. It has Carl Urban, it has The Rock, but it was still in the phase when The Rock tried to be not The Rock.
And then when he turned bad, it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, I'll go through the whole movie, he's good, and then now all of a sudden he turns bad.
Yeah.
And he does the J.O.B. Like, come on. That don't work for Hogan, brother. If Hogan turned him bad, he's winning at the end anyway.
I still think it's a crime that Hogan was not in any of the Expendable movies.
By the way, I want to talk about Carl Weathers for a bit.
Oh yeah, you met Carl Weathers at Megacon.
Yes, I met Carl Weathers at Megacon, and I played the Happy Gilmore route. I went to shake his hand, and I was like, "Oh wait, I don't want to pull your hand off, man. I know you lost a couple years ago. It's that Gator." He got a laugh out of that. It was hilarious, man. He really loved that joke. Man, Carl Weathers was cool as ever, man.
Did you ask him about the Attack on Shadow Island?
I didn't get a chance to say that, because it was the photo ops. But I just pulled the Happy Gilmore thing on him when I shook his hand. I was like, I didn't want to pull his hand on it. And plus, I knew he lost it against the Predator, so I was like, I don't need to damage your hand anymore. You gotta laugh out of that, man. Carl Weathers is great. Like I said,
I'm so happy we're able to meet him.
Yeah, he was welcoming to all his fans in the photo ops line. You know, got to say a word, got to hug him and stuff like that. So, yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah, fantastic actor, and also, you know, he's also one of the few actors where you don't have like secondhand shaming when you read his when you read his like tweets, like.
Yeah, he's just a top tier guy, and meeting him was a pleasure.
Awesome.
But and I got to meet Tara Strong. She was amazing. You know, great voice actress.
I also think I think Tara Strong is one of her kid actor roles was actually in an action movie with Franco Colombo, the Ancient Warriors.
I think I saw that on her list.
Yeah, and I love that movie. It's with Franco, and Franco was awesome. We have to also do like a special, maybe in October, like one October, there's like a Franktober, where we took all the Franco Colombo action movies.
Hey, I'm down for whatever, man. I like I said, I love exploring movies that I ain't really like watch a lot as a kid. So whatever you recommend, I know what you recommend is always going to be a great blast.
Yeah, especially the what is it called? It's not Double Twist on Cosca Island. It's Beretta's Island. Beretta's Island. It's there's like Arnold has a cameo in it where he just trains with him in the gym.
Hey, that's a great cameo, man. I mean, Arnold comes in, let's train, let's get down.
It's like they really just took from a training session the video and put it in the movie. Awesome,
man. But yeah, that's pretty much it. What we got to say about Double Impact.
There's not a lot of meat on the bone in terms of talking points.
But it's still a fun movie to revisit.
It's a Van Damme movie. There are no bad Van Damme movies out there.
Even the bad ones I enjoy, you know. And people slag a lot of his films. I'm like, bro, I enjoy Maximum Risk. I enjoy Sudden Death and a lot of his films.
Sudden Death is fantastic.
Yeah. Like shit, man, who go to a hockey game and get stranded there and stuff, and yet you gotta figure out a way to get out.
Well, and who doesn't want to take out a mask that way?
So, you know, a lot of Van Damme films I really enjoy. Even some of his lower budget films of the 2000s, you know, like they straight to video and stuff. Like some of them I really enjoy.
What is that one called? Like Inferno, I think, or something. Where there's such a weird cut where he then fucks two girls like it.
And then, you know, I gotta watch the recent kickboxer films.
Mm.
All the Universal Soldier films.
I also have to watch these. Like, but I really love the kickboxer, the new ones.
Yeah, I definitely want to catch those and just overall just revisit a lot of his films. Cyborg, I love Cyborg. That's one of my favorite movies that whenever it's on TV, I gotta watch it.
I think it's decent. It's just that it's said that Pune died. I think this or last year, but he was a horrible director.
The movie is poorly shot because there's so many edits in it, and you could just see it all throughout the film. But it's a guilty pleasure to me. Like I love Cyborg.
And Ralph Möller is in it.
Yeah. It's just so many great movies that Van Damme done that you can just go over all of them and there's a quality to them that sticks out and you're gonna enjoy it for what it was.
And he almost was in The Predator.
Almost. I saw that picture again with him and Carl Weathers when they were sitting down, and people was like, "Man, Jean-Claude looked like Jeffrey Dahmer." I was like, I can't unsee this shit now. Oh man.
But yeah, I'm so looking forward to next week because we got talk all the Major League movies.
Yes, baseball is back here in the States, and we also had the World Classic with baseball. We would have talked it this week, but the delays from last month kind of pushed this back to this week.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to revisiting all the movies.
Yeah.
Because the third film I watched the least, but it does have characters from the first two movies, so at least it does continue from those original two movies.
Yeah, and it has the not Blackula from Quantum Leap.
And of course, it has the what's his name, Dennis Haysbert, Allstate insurance guy. He was great in those two movies. But yeah, I'm looking forward to talking some baseball next week, man. There's a lot of fun baseball films, even if the sport is it has kind of died down over the last 20 years.
I have no idea about the rule.
So, if we're gonna talk baseball, we gotta talk the Naked Guns films. The first movie is a classic when it comes to the baseball section. The Naked Gun films, we definitely gotta do that.
I remember I tried to play baseball on the NES back in the day, but it was like, okay, how does this game function?
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it, man. Major League next week. Gonna be a fun time.
Awesome. Is there anything other planned this weekend with the Comic Hall crew?
I'm hoping there's a Comic Hall. I wanted to ask him before I went live today, but I forgot to do it. But I'm gonna ask him if there's gonna be a show this week because I got stuff to show.
Yeah, I just got this from Switzerland.
Oh, nice.
It's a new Conan novel, and since Conan is public domain in Europe, this Swiss company has hired Chuck Dixon to write Conan stories.
Nice.
Yeah, and Chuck Dixon is, after Roy Thomas, the best comic book writer for Conan. It is not a comic; it's a novel. But Chuck Dixon, I would say, story. I think from comics, it's Christopher Priest, Roy Thomas, and Chuck Dixon who did the best Conan stories back in the day.
And I saw your post on Eric Burnham needs to write Red Sonja.
Yes, he needs to write Red Sonja again.
He definitely do, because like I said, he saved Amy Chu's run from complete disaster. When he came in as co-writer, he brought it back to the roots of Red Sonja, and that was the only reason why I stuck with that run, because of him.
But you know who's getting another Red Sonja run?
Oh man,
Gail Simone.
I liked her run, but it wasn't.
It's just leave it as it is. I also her run. Once you accept, okay, this is a different kind of Red Sonja, different world and everything. She's not a terrible writer. She's one of these people who didn't become better with time. She's too much on Twitter, and she just doesn't care about writing stories.
Yeah, her run wasn't insulting like some Red Sonja runs, but it wasn't the fantastical Red Sonja that we know.
And the last story she did in the anthologies were just horrible.
Yeah, I didn't like those at all.
Yeah, so I think she's not capable anymore to write a decent story. I will give it a try, but I don't think so.
And
I mean, on the other hand, can it be worse than the Mirko Dorfo one?
Yeah, I gave up on that issue too.
Yeah, I also was like, nope.
They can't even suck me in with the covers. I know my shop, put the different covers in there, but I'm like, man, as great as this cover is, I'd rather just download the image off the internet and just have it as my screensaver.
Yeah, it's most definitely it's not. It's but I'm also was really disappointed by the Sub run, because Sub usually is a good writer. He knows to have boring age. He wrote some fantastic Conan stories, and then he's writing the Red Sonja story, and basically nothing is happening.
Which is a lot of modern comics. It's like nothing happens for a good portion of the story.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dynamite is paying so shit that Sub might just say like, okay, for this money, which maybe I'm not even getting or something, I'm just giving like a in German we say 0815 story, like just a very dull story that I'm writing in 10 minutes or something.
Yeah.
But this is no comparison to his really good run that he did on Conan. And he's also going to be the new writer for the first Conan story at Titan Comics. So I hope he left the good stuff for that and he's not doing something boring over there.
Yeah, I definitely want to check out his first Conan on Titan.
Yeah, have you got... Yeah. Did you get this week the Ric Flair one-shot?
I have not picked up comics in 3 weeks for my shop. I got to go tomorrow to pick them up, so if they have the Ric Flair, I'll check it out. If not, I'm not sweating.
Yeah, I pre-ordered it and I'm really curious. I still have to wait. I'm probably getting it in 2 weeks or something with my when the order is shipped. But
I'd rather see the Ric Flair book in my timeline than whatever the fuck that Spider-Man book is. I'm sick of seeing that shit.
How retarded you have to be to go all hyped for a character named Spider-Boy? I mean,
I'm a Spider-Man fan, but after Nick Spencer's run, I was done with Spider-Man.
I mean, it's like, but this totally screams cash grab. I think it's like this variant cover is the comic book equivalent of gifting somebody smallpox blankets. Like,
oh, I'm sick of that book already, man.
I think I don't have a single Marvel book anymore on my pull list since Savage Avengers ended.
That's good. And Savage Avengers was really good.
Was really good, yeah. And also the even though Conan left, it was still a very entertaining comic book. But right now, there's nothing coming out of Marvel. Now I think I have two cover buys with the Ross Villain covers, the Doctor Doom one, and I think this Baron Zemo one. And the Red Carbon I've already pre-ordered.
See, I like the Ross covers, but I don't want to fall into the trap of buying them all, man.
Yeah, also not all. For me, it's just okay. The three main villains that I like, I'm gonna get, and the rest, fuck it.
Yeah, like some people got to have they have that. I gotta get them all.
Yeah.
And I didn't even do that with the superhero. I just picked up the ones that I wanted. The ones I saw for cheap, like they were in the buck bins. I was like, I'll take it for $1.
Yeah, I didn't pick up any of those. But yeah, it's I know some people are completists, but being a completist, it's just they fuck you in the ass for that. Marvel just takes advantage of you, and it's like, oh, we need more money this month to don't seem like complete losers, so let's put out the variants.
It's the same with Dynamite with all these Red Sonja and Vampirella books. Like they trying to put all these miniseries out and all these variants. It's like, bro, you trying to take all my money because I'm a fan of these characters, and I'm like, also, the stories are crap.
Except for Draculina, the priest is back on track.
Priest is keeping it alive.
Yes,
but everything else is like, I can live without it.
Yeah, it's all like I'm not buying any of these Hell Sonya or Samurai Sonya.
Sonya and King Arthur Land and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, or like the fairy tale bullshit. You know why you don't have just Red Sonja, fantastic eldritch horror, sword and sorcery story like it's supposed to be?
Yeah, the original Dynamite series with the miniseries that like the Thos of Doom miniseries and all that stuff. Those stuff were great additional stories to go with the main series.
And they didn't overdid it back in the day, but nowadays actually there isn't. Is there even currently a Red Sonja ongoing out there? I think the Adolfo one ended, or
I don't even know the Adolfo ended or not.
I also don't know. It's like I ain't
been keeping up with it.
Yeah, I just like don't see any Red Sonja anymore in the previews except for the Hell Sonja.
I don't know.
Because the Unbreakable Red Sonja, or how did I call it? The
Unbearable.
Unbearable, yeah, the Unbearable Red Sonja. I think that also like just ended. I do have to say that I bought like the 1 in 10 covers because Penosian, and I'm gonna always buy a Penosian cover. But yeah, that was such a boring read.
Yeah, I got this signed by Mike Crone.
Oh, nice.
So, along with a couple of Lady Duff books that I have of his.
Sweet. That's a sweet cover. And I also miss covers like these, when she's like in action pose, and this is also what Dan Penosian does very well. And I can't see any more fucking Carla Cohen covers where you think like Red Sonja hasn't eaten in 6 weeks.
Yeah, I'm done with that. But that was our stream today. Pretty on the short side, but we talked about the majority of the film in a half hour or so.
Yeah, because if we would talk any long, it would just be about Silk under Ruse a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's stuff like that.
But next week,
baseball time. And I just want to say, Silver Age Sunday, Jeff Channel, 1 p.m. We'll be on there showing off Megacon stuff. John's Comic Book Kids will be on there. Pop to John. And check us out on Cantonese Comic Kids channel, Silver Age Sunday.
Exactly. And subscribe to his channel because Jeff needs some birthday love.
Exactly. Happy birthday, Jeff. Fortunately, he couldn't make it up for tomorrow. There's another show tomorrow. The Olo.
There's always a show in Florida somewhere.
Always a show. I'm like, damn it, we just coming off of Megacon and y'all got a little comic show here. $8 to get in with free parking. I'm like, I want to go, but I kind of like backed out at the last minute because I was like, with Jeff not coming and stuff like that, I figured might as well just save some money for another show.
Yeah.
Because this is a show.
There's always another show in Florida.
It's always a show, man. But other than that, man, that's all we got. Check us out, Silver Age Sunday. Check out the Comic Call Crew page. We may have a live stream tomorrow. And it'll be also on my channel as well. So, simulcast stream. And
is it possible? So, what sorcery is this?
Yes, it's possible, man. Look on my channel. The stream is there. But yeah.
Is it different camera angles or?
No, it's the same show. Same camera angle and all. It's just like simulcast on 2 channels. Yesterday, Comic Book Worm simulcast with Sleepy Reader and Metal Rock. They did the same live stream on 3 channels.
And do the views count together?
Yeah, well, it's different views because I know mine's had lower views than the Comic Call Crew.
Okay.
And it's also like different Because the people who comment on my video, it stays on my video, but you ain't gonna see them on the Common Cause live video.
At least it's not like WrestleMania 2.
No. But yeah, hopefully we do that again tomorrow if there's a live show, and I'll definitely let you know. But other than that, I want y'all to have a great weekend.
And a savage one.
Exactly. And be on the lookout for Major League next week.
1, 2, and minor leagues.
Peace out, y'all.